Hi, Caspar here on the 26th of February 2018. White Burgundy and quite a serious drop in my glass tonight. This is 2012 Puligny-Montrachet 1er cru Les Folatières from a winery called Bachelet Monnot. You've probably heard me talk about Bachelet Monnot before, and if you go to our YouTube channel, scroll through, you will find several tasting notes of the Bachelet Monnot wines. Two young brothers, Mark and Alex Bachelet, down in the charmingly named Puligny Les Folatières, right down the south of Côte de Beaune, just before you get to the Côte Chalonnaise, making really stunning wines. This is a bottle out of my own cellar, actually. I can't resist the wines. I think they're superb. We are also incidentally drinking in this house at the moment 2010 Bourgogne Blanc, so that's a Bourgogne Blanc at 7 and a bit years of age. Still drinking supremely well, absolutely no hurry at all. But let me try and describe to you why I think these wines are so startlingly good. Actually, I don't even need to hold that against a white background. It's bright canary yellow. I don't know if you can see that. It's a stunning colour, full of health. It's got a density of colour that makes you wonder whether it's sort of glycerol rich and quite alcoholic and perhaps even quite oaky, because of course wines will pick up colour from a wood barrel. But let's have a smell. It's a very undemonstrative a set of aromas in one way. It's dry. It's not exuberantly fruity, but there's real density there, and the density includes quite a lot of sort of dryly mineral earthy sort of scents, but also this extraordinarily gorgeous fruit. Blimey, it's got a fresh sort of citrus, lemon, orange, absolutely fresh, freshly squeezed, if you like, sort of scent, along with sort of pear and apple, a bit of spice. I mean, these are wines that have a little bit of that, occasionally, that little bit of that smoky sort of reductive character that seems to be very all the rage in Burgundy, but to me it doesn't dominate the wine. You know, the inherent character of the vineyard sort of does manage to come through, and it's just, you know, it's not a fatuous sort of kiss me quick sort of wine. It's a wine you have to put your nose in and go and find, and I think if you make the effort to do that, there's a great deal going on. It smells like summer in the most sort of celestial garden you'll come across. Sort of russet apple and something herbal in there, almost sage-like note perhaps, and even a bit of ginger. It's complex. It's fascinating. It's a well-defined nose. All the aromas are clearly sort of laid out. There's no smudge to it, and it's well, it's fascinating, and it makes you want to immediately dive in and take a sip. Incidentally, this has been open, and I would urge you to open these wines, let them breathe, let them warm up a bit if they've been in the fridge for any length of time. So this is showing a lot more on the nose than when I first opened it, which was perhaps half an hour ago out of the fridge, and it's not been in the fridge since then. So it's coming up in temperature. Mint, menthol note, particular, almost medicinal lint, sort of, which doesn't sound very appealing, I realise, but come on, let's take a sip. Wow, the palate has just relaxed into itself as well, and it's like the nose, clearly defined, upright, nothing extraneous here. Spare, I mean, is perhaps a good way to describe Bachelet Monnot white wines. Clear cut. It's It's like a Riesling. I mean, it's like a sort of maybe a Rheingau Riesling. It's got richness and density, but it's got extraordinary cut. Really, within there is a thing like a samurai blade that cuts across the palate, and it's all about the acidity, and within that acidity is of course carried whatever is imparted from the vineyard itself. It's a very mineral, expressive wine, but incredibly direct. It's sort of like the point of a pin behind which it does fan out into something. As I say, something dense and more generous, but it's not a generous wine by any stretch. It's a wine of action, a wine of clear voice, and very, as I say, very, very upright. I mean, it's a Riesling of a Chardonnay. This texture across the tongue is tension from the acidity, but also sort of slight earthiness from I'll say the vineyard, but scientists will then knock me down and say it's not possible. But there we are. What a wine! Gosh, length, precision. Precision is a good word to describe it, actually. And it sort of restores your faith in Chardonnay, really, which had slightly gone awry, perhaps. Personally speaking. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There we are, 2012 Puligny-Montrachet Les Folatières from Bachelet Monnot. If you got some, good, great. You will be very happy and excited and rewarded, I think, to open a bottle of it. Brilliant, great stuff.